Hello and welcome to the Intel Brief. Today is Thursday, 11 December. I'm your host Daniel, and today we're going to talk about Trump seizing a very large oil tanker off Venezuela, the Thai-Cambodia border fighting ahead of a Trump call, and M23 are advancing on a key eastern province in Uvira, one of those. So firstly, US President Donald Trump said on Wednesday that the US had seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. In a press conference to reporters, he said, "We've just seized a tanker off the coast of Venezuela, a very large tanker. A large tanker, a very large tanker. The largest one ever seized, actually." God, he's a knob, eh? Trump said the tanker was seized for very good reasons. Yeah, taking money from Venezuela. The US president added that other things are happening without offering any additional details. Reporters asked what Trump would happen with the oil tanker, and he said, "We keep it, I guess." Attorney General Pam Bondi posted a video on X that appeared to show US forces boarding the tanker. So what? I think this is just the next escalation in putting pressure on Venezuela, right? It's now turning into a form of naval blockade. And this is likely an attempt to close down the Venezuelan economy and apply more pressure to the government to fall in line with what President Donald Trump wants. What that is not currently publicly clear, as from what I've read, there's been some pretty wild offers coming out of Venezuela, including Maduro stepping down and fleeing the country alongside some of his closest allies. So, I don't know. I don't know what Trump wants, but I guess we are going to find out. And next, deadly clashes between Thailand and Cambodia near the disputed border between the Southeast Asian neighbors continued ahead of an expected phone call from US President Donald Trump to the two nations' leaders on Thursday. At least 19 people have been killed in the latest round of violence, including soldiers and civilians, while hundreds of thousands of people on both sides of the border have been displaced. The Thai Prime Minister said on Thursday that he would explain and clarify the situation to Trump during the call. So what? I don't know. I think Trump, in his speed to make a peace deal between these two countries during the last round of fighting, is what has led to this round of fighting, right? He didn't actually get to the root cause of what these two are fighting over, and therefore it had just fallen over. If we do that again, we're just going to lead to the same situation. A short-term peace, and then something will happen and there'll be an uptick in violence. Yeah, I don't know. But then I also don't know how we get to the root cause of the problem, because the problem is Thailand controls some temples that Cambodia wants. I don't know. I think there needs to be some pretty solid agreements around how Cambodia can use those temples in Thailand. But then, Thailand, there's no way of applying pressure to Thailand outside of, external means from third-party countries. So, painful. I might do some research and make a YouTube video on this weekend. And lastly, the Rwandan-backed M23 rebels have entered an eastern Congo city of Uvira. I'm not pronouncing that right correctly, so sorry about that. An important base for the country's military near the borders of Burundi and Rwanda on Wednesday. Lawrence Kuva, a spokesman for the alliance, including M23 fighters, even claimed that the forces controlled the city, saying on its social media that it had been liberated. He alleged months of attacks on local citizens by Congolese and allied forces, saying that this was the reason for the attack. He said displaced residents could now return freed from all harassment and violence. The rebels' latest advance in the resource-rich region comes days after the Congolese president and Rwanda's president and US Donald Trump in Washington to declare their commitment to a US-brokered peace deal. So what? This is similar to the Thai-Cambodia issue in a way. As in, we're not getting to the root cause, therefore violence continues. But here, there's been a peace deal between the DRC and Rwanda, yet the troops who Rwanda allegedly control and back continue to conduct their military operations and take more and more villages and towns. So how much control do they really have over them? We don't know. Will this stop? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know how much control Rwanda actually has over these troops and whether they can apply enough pressure to get them to back down from their current advances. So, yeah, we may see a lot more violence in the DRC, which will be interesting because there's rumors of like military contract and deployments there by like Western mercenaries. So that would be a significant escalation, especially if they got involved in direct fighting against the M23 rebels. Anyway, that's been your Intel Brief. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Maybe I could be very hungover. See you.